Hello everyone, and welcome back here in my craft room and on my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. If you're new here, I want to welcome you. I hope you'll come back. I try my very best to teach you new techniques and inspire you to make some beautiful cards using some of the wonderful products that Stampin' Up! Has to offer. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm located in the beautiful state of North Carolina, but I can take care of your stamping needs no matter where you're at throughout the United States of America. So, with all that being said, if you're not currently working with a demonstrator and you're interested in any of the products that you see me use, please reach out to me. If you don't understand the ordering process, just give me a call. I'll help you I'll walk you through it. I can place your order for you, or you can go directly to my site and order there. All the information's in the video below, as well as on my blog. That address is below the video as well. Okay, with all of that housekeeping notes out of our way, we're ready to get started on this beautiful card. Now, I sat and played around with this. I kind of got my inspiration off of Pinterest. I saw something similar. I changed it up. I kind of made it mine. But we're going to use some bubble bath, and we're going to use some Moody Mauve. I don't think I'm going to use that piece because I can see a line in it. We'll see. We might be able to cover that up. We'll see. I also have a piece of basic white. My camera doesn't like the white. You notice what happens when I put the white up there? Everything kind of gets blurry. So we'll just slide that up underneath there. That will calm my camera down just a little bit. Some of the other products that I'm going to use is Moody Mauve and Bubble Bath ink pads. I'm also going to be using my VersaFine Onyx Black, and this is not a Stampin' Up! Product, but you can find it in my craft room favorites, so you can look for that there. The star of the show are the translucent florals, the Stamp and the Die bundle, and this is in the mini catalog. So even though this is not a holiday, so to speak, stamp set, this is a beautiful set that you can use over and over and over. And I love the fact you can build flowers, or you can stamp and cut out your flowers. So on this particular card, I used the dies and cut my flowers out, inked around the edges a little bit, and I'll show you how I did that. I used a couple of embossing folders. I used, for my background one, I used, and did I put it away? Or is it lost amongst all of my stuff on my desk? Let's see if I stuck it back over here, because I'm not seeing it. Aha, I did. The distressed tile, and that's when I did my background here in the white. I also used, this is from the online exclusives, and it comes in a pack of 3, and one of them is a polka dot, and I use the polka dot for my vellum. So my little circle of vellum right here has polka dots in it. Very subtle, because it's kind of, everything's kind of behind it, but it gives you a beautiful focal point where you can build your flowers up on it. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I also used what did I do with the die? Oh, here it is. I used the largest circle from the Stylish Shape dies. So that was the other stamp set, or the other die set that I used. I also used, because I needed a birthday card, the Happy Birthday. So let's go ahead and get started, and we are going to pull this card together, hopefully in no time flat. So the first thing I want to do is cut my card base itself, and I am using the Bubble Bath because it's so pretty. Let me turn this other light on. That will help shed a little bit more light on us so we can see exactly what we're doing. So I'm putting this in my trimmer on the 11-inch side, and I'm going to bring it over to 5.5, and all that's doing is slicing this piece of cardstock right smack dab in the middle. So now we have a card base. Let's lay that up there. My Moody Mauve, let me grab another piece of Moody Mauve, because I want that piece to be I didn't want it to have that bend or fold in it, and it looks like I have either run this through something, but it has a bit of a fold right there, like it was scored. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there you go. And I don't want that on my card. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half at 5.5 on the 11-inch side, just like I did the other one. And I am going to cut this in half at 4.25. Now we're going to have a little bit of waste on this because I'm going to cut this at 4 by 5 1/4. This is going to give us a 1/4 inch strip on both ends. So turn it there, 5 1/4. This is our traditional size mat, and there is that. So we have our mat, we have our card base. Now we need our piece. Again, I'm going to do the same with this, only this time I'm going to bring this to 3 3/4. And I'm going to slice, and then I'm going to turn this and slice it at 5. So this is going to give us our mats going down. Now I'm going to save this piece because I'm going to die cut with it. And for this, I am going to go ahead and take that largest circle, and I'm going to put it right there on that piece because that's perfect, the perfect size we need to cut this. And I'm just going to use my Big Shot over here, my switch, which is an electronic cutting machine. Let's turn that over and put that over it, and I'm going to run this through real quick. And we're going to cut one more piece. We're going to cut a circle out of vellum, the same size. So there's that. And now we're going to cut a circle out of a piece of vellum. And I'm going to cut this piece down because I don't want it to get, you know, wonky from the worn embossing plate. Or not the embossing plate, the cut plate. So I'm going to cut this down to about 3.5. That's about what I need. So 3.5. And now we can go ahead and put this on. Something like that. And we're going to go ahead and die cut this. So I'm going to put that down, put this over, and I'm going to run this through my machine. We're going to get all of our pieces cut, and then we're going to put this together. And I thought it would be good if y'all saw the process of me cutting everything. So now for this piece, I want to run it through this embossing folder, this one right here. So I am going to lay that down there and this on top, and we're going to run this through. Alright, we got that piece embossed, and look how pretty that is. Isn't that gorgeous? Subtle, but just what we need. Alright, we have our full circle, and see how pretty that's going to look on the white? We could actually do that on the pink, and I think it would even be prettier. But, do I want to do that? What about the mauve? Let's try it. You know, we don't know. I'm going to just go ahead and cut while I'm thinking about it. And this piece will be perfect for that because I can get it right up there, and that piece will not matter. Let's go ahead and try that. Put this back down, that on it, this over it, and let's run it through. I think just to have a little different option that might work for us. So let's pull that through. And let's see what that looks like. I like that. I think that might be attractive. We'll see. We got both options. We can do the white or the mauve. So I'm going to lay my scraps over here. I've got lots of scraps, y'all. All right. Now we're going to need a piece of the, and we've got it right here, a piece of the pink, and we need to cut some petals. So I'm going to grab my translucent florals, And I want to cut one of these big ones. Actually, I need 2 of those, and I need 2 of these. I didn't care for this one. This one can be used with this, but I don't know, I just didn't like, I'd rather have 2 of those. So it was just a preference. You might love that one. You might want to rather do it than this one. But I'm going to run this through, and then we're going to come back and run it through one more time and get enough to make another one of these and 2 more of those. And you'll see why I'm doing it like this as soon as we get our pieces together. Alright, so there are those beautifully done. Let's lay these up here. And now we're going to put this back in. And we're going to put these 2 right here. And this one right there. I'm going to run this through one more time. A lot of die cutting in this, but I think you're going to see that it's so worth it once everything is said and done, because it does turn out beautifully. Alright, so now we have our die cuts for these. And look how beautiful they cut. Now I'm going to take my dies and just drop them back into my package for right now. And let's stack these over here. And we've got all of our little flowers. So the other thing I need is from that Moody Mauve. And we're going to use this piece again. I need the little centers. So let's pull, I need 1 of these and I need 2 of those. So let's see. Let's put that one back here. Grab this one. I'm going to put 1 there and 1 there. They want to move around because the magnet is not flat, so they're trying to wiggle on me. That's okay. We will train these to do what we want them to do by moving the cardstock. So that okay. If he does not want to cooperate, we will make him with a little piece of tape. One of my little post-it flags will hold that in place, as well as this one. We're going to need 1 more of the little ones. We just need 1 of the big, but we're going to need 1 more of the little one. So let's pull that off. Put that one up there. Now let's take this one and tape it right there. And let's run that back through. Sometimes the hardest part of doing a card is just getting all of your pieces together, and then once you get everything together, you're pretty much ready to go with it. And that's where we're at with this. We are getting to the point where we're ready to go ahead and start putting the card together, and that's the fun part. Of course, I find this part fun too, just, you know, the designing and having everything come together, and it's all the process. So I always say, you know, half of the trip is the journey. So enjoy the journey. Don't be in such a hurry to get to the destination, which is the end of your card, that you miss out on the enjoyment and the pleasure of putting everything together. All right, one more thing we need to do with our die cut machine, and that is we need to emboss that white piece using our distressed tile. So for it, I'm going to put this in. I'm going to line it up down here on that little registration line. See that black mark right here? So line that up. This will just kind of ensure that everything looks straight on your piece once you die cut it. I'm not die cut it, but emboss it. So we'll put that down like that and this like that, and let's push it through. Alright, and now we only have one more thing to do, and we will be ready to rock and roll, hopefully, this card. The other thing that I want to do is I want to take a piece of Granny Apple Green, and I got a scrap right here, and I'm going to use my bow punch, and this is such a cute little thing to have. I'm going to turn it over because I want to, in the Granny Apple Green, I just want that small one, like that. And I only need 2 of them. So I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to do the other side like that. Alright, and now we want some garden green. So let me find a piece of garden green. There is that pretty garden green. And I think it looks so pretty next to the Granny Apple Green. See how pretty they play together? So I'm just going to cut off I'll cut about a 2-inch strip off of this piece. And then I am going to put this in like so and punch. And then I'm going to turn it this way and see if I can get one more right about there. And we got a little one there, but we don't need him. We just need those 4. And then we're going to need a piece of white. And I'm just going to grab a little scrap of white. Something like that. And let's go ahead and stamp our happy birthday on this. So this is where I'm going to use that Versafine Onyx Black, because I love that. And this came from the Go-To Greetings. I love those for sentiments because they come in so many different sizes. And I'm going to stamp right down here at the bottom. Beautiful every time. I love this for sentiments. My Memento, which is what Stampin' Up! Carries, they also carry Stays On, but I don't like Stays On for sentiments as much as I do my Versafine. So that's the reason I have that in my craft room favorites. So in case you are a Versafine fan like me, you can go right there and get that. Now I'm going to take this to my trimmer. I'm going to do this one a little bit different. The other one I hand cut it. This one I'm going to slice about, let's come down a little bit more right there, and right about there. And we are going to do a little punching on the end of that and make it a banner. I'm doing that a little bit different. If you noticed in this card, I took and kind of cut around my happy birthday. I thought this time we're going to do this a little bit different. So it's going to be the same card, but it's going to be done just a tiny bit different. So let's go ahead and score. Get my scoring tool out. This is the Simply Scored scoreboard, and I'm going to score this at 4 1/4, just like that. And then I'm going to turn it over and fold it, give it a good crease. And this is where our bone folder is going to come in, because we're going to definitely want to kind of get that where it needs to be. Sort of like that. All right, so now we're ready to go ahead and start building our card. The first thing I want to do is go ahead and apply this embossed mat to my Moody Mauve mat. So to do that, I got a little clump here. Let's get rid of the clump. And let's put some liquid glue on the back of this. And turn this around, and I'm gonna try my best to get it even side to side, top to bottom, something like that. Give it a good pat. Now we can go ahead and adhere this to our other piece. So I'm just going to run my glue around my sides and then a little bit through the middle. So, and then we're going to put this down the same way. Try your best to get your mats nice and even, if at all possible. You know, that's always our goal. Then I'm going to open that card and I'm going to give that a little rub on the inside just to help that glue. All right. You know, it looks like I need to trim that off just a tiny bit more. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm seeing that it just needs ever so slightly, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. That's good. That's what I was looking for. So that worked out perfect. All right. So now what we need to do is go ahead and start building our flowers. Now with my flowers, I want to do a little bit of fancy footwork on these. I want to decide exactly where I want them to go together. Before I do that, I'm going to take my Moody Mauve, and this is the dark, and I'm going to grab the brush tip, and I'm just going to go around the outer edge, making sure that my tip is pointing up. The reason I say that is if I slip, it's going to go behind it and not in front of it. So that's important. So I'm just going to line the outer edges of these just a tiny bit, just to kind of define. And we're going to do a little bit of ink blending as well. Those all done. So now I want to bring over just a little piece of scrap paper, and you can see I've done this with my other ones, and I'm going to grab a blending brush, and this is one of my smaller ones, and I'm using the Moody Mauve, and we are just going to touch a little bit on these flowers. So I'm just going to tap off over here. And then I just want to put a little bit right there in the center, just to give it a little something. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a little dab like that. And we're going to do the same thing with the big one. This has to be the easiest ink blending there is, because you're just going to tap it. So now that we've got that all done, let's go ahead and put our flowers together. Now when I put these together, I want that large wonky one to go out and fill that larger gap. And if you're working with these, you'll see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those together, and I think I'm going to use a mini glue dot. So I'm going to grab my take your pick tool. And I'm going to just pick one of these up like that and put it down right about there. Grab that little backer off, and then I'm going to use the little grabby end of my take your pick tool, and I'm going to pick that up and set that right down on top like so. Now we've got the bigger piece here, and I'm going to take glue and just drop a dot of glue right there in the middle and pick this up and set that down. Something like that. Now we're going to do the same thing with these. So in order to do this, we're just going to decide how we want to build these. And I think like that. So I'm going to grab another mini glue dot, or not glue dot, I'm sorry, mini dimensionals. And we're going to pick this one up. And put that right there. Then I've got this little bitty, we're going to put glue right here. And then pick this one up and put that right there. So there are 2 of our flowers, and we have 1 more to go. So again, I'm just going to pick up a mini dimensional, and I'm going to put that right here. Grab that backer. Pick this one up, and we're going to turn it like that. And it's our little piece. A little bit of glue right here in the middle, and pick up that piece, just stick it on. Now our flowers are all done, and how pretty are these? Look how pretty they turned out. Love, love, love that. So now we need to decide if we're going to use the vellum, the Moody Mauve under our vellum, or the white. Let's try our flowers. I'm going to go ahead and glue my stems, my little stems together. So I'm going to put a little tiny bit of glue right here on the stem. And I'm going to glue one of these pieces to it. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other one. And glue that piece on top. Like so. And then what if we just tuck those underneath there, something like that. Isn't that pretty? I think I like that one better. I think this one gives us a really good background. So I'm glad that I've changed it up a little bit. So now what we need to do is take our flowers off. We know that we're going to have flowers all the way around on this one side, so I'm going to put glue right there. That's not going to be seen, and y'all know how hard it is to hide glue behind vellum. So I'm going to just take this and sit it down on top of that and adhere it. And then I'm going to put this right about there, and I'm just going to go ahead and pop this down using some glue. And make sure that glued section is pointing to your left so it can hide behind all of those beautiful florals. Now you're going to have a little bit of movement on this vellum, and we want that. It's not going to hurt a thing, because once we put our flowers down, and I'm going to use some regular size stamping dimensionals on the back of this. And I'm going to put one right there. I think I'm just going to put one in the center for right this minute. And I'm going to put this flower down about like that. And then I'm going to take a smaller one and I'm going to tuck it right about like that. Now, I'm not going to put dimensionals on this. I'm going to put glue right here on those petals that are going to be underneath. And I'm going to put this down like that. And then I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm going to put some glue just like that. And we're going to tuck this one just barely under that one. Turn it around and get it exactly like you want it. Then once you get those down, you've got your little bowels, you can come in and stick these under. And I want one to go down like that. And I want one to go up like that. A little bit different than the other one, but I've got a little bit wider sentiment here. So I'm trying to decide. I think I'm going to cut the happy off straight right there. So I'm going to use my paper snips, and I'm going to snip off as close to that H as I can, like that. And then I'm going to do a little ribbon cut on the bottom, on the outside edge of this one. So I'm going to snip in, and then up, and then up. And that gives us that little banner. And we're going to try to get that right up underneath the edge of the, oh, that's perfect. Before I adhere that down, I'm going to take some linen thread. And I think this is all we have left on this spool. That's okay. I'm going to tie a pretty loopy bow, and I'm using my same little finger tie bow because I want this to be really loopy. So I wrapped it about 6 times, and then I'm going to bring that under, and I'm going to bring this back through and slide that underneath. And then I'm just going to rock this back and forth until I get a good tie on it. Something like that. And then once you get that bow, you got all those beautiful loops, just pull them apart a little bit so they kind of spray. And then you got your 2 little tails. I'm going to cut one of the tails because it doesn't need to be as long as I have it. So we're going to cut it like that. And I'm going to stick this right here. And I'm going to grab one of my little strips of dimensionals that I keep for things like this. And I'm going to peel off that backer. And I'm going to put this on. Sorry about Bella. She's sleeping really good, y'all. Y'all can hear her, I'm sure. Oh, my little dog, my little Shih Tzu. She, any of y'all that know anything about Shih Tzus, they have the little pug face, and because they have a short snout, they all have issues with their breathing, so they snore. It doesn't bother me in the least. I love my Bella girl, and she can snore if she wants to. I'm going to put that one sideways a little bit. I think I'm going to get a glue dot just to kind of adhere that down so it doesn't move around on me. So here are my little mini glue dots, and I'm going to take one off just using my finger, and I'm going to roll it. And I'm going to stick it right there, and then I'm going to press that bow into it. Let's see how easy that is to adhere that bow. So now I'm ready to put this all down just like that, and we got a beautiful birthday card. Looks like I need a little bit more dimension under here. I think that's good. Once I pulled that little loop out of there, I was good to go. So this is the front of this one. Now I want to put some gems on it. The other one I used the white sequins and you can barely see them. This one I am thinking, let's see what I've got in Moody Mauve. These ones right here I think will work, and I think they may be pretty on there. So let's try that. I want something that's pretty and sparkly. So I'm going to try these. I know these aren't Moody Mauve, but I think they will play good on here. Let's put one there, one right there, one here, and one right there. Love it, love it, love it. Now I am going to come back because I'm really wanting to jazz this card up a little bit. And I'm going to take my Rhinestone Basic Jewels. I love these. They're one of my favorites. And I'm going to grab a big one to go in the middle of the big flower. And I'm going to grab the smaller ones to go in the middle of our little smaller flowers. Oops, I got one over here that came off of something. Okay, let's grab that little one and put him right there. Now the only thing left to do is our insides. And of course, maybe our envelope. I love this. I love it. I think it turned out. I actually like this one better than I did the first one. I love the way this is angling around. I like the way I inked these a lot better than I did this one. So anytime that you make a card, do not give up on the card if it doesn't turn out like you want it. Use it for inspiration, remake it, and you'll be surprised how beautiful it can turn out. So that's why it's always good to have a rough draft. And that was my rough draft. This is my finished product, and I am so pleased with it. So I'm going to grab a piece of my Moody Mauve, and I want to cut a frame for inside. So this is going to be this needs to be 4 by 5 1/4. So 5 1/4 by 4. And then we need a white piece that is going to measure 3 3/4 by 5. And what we want to do next is decide what we're going to put on the inside. And I think I'm going to do wishing you all the happiness in the world and then happy birthday again. And I think for this one I'm going to do it in the Moody Mauve. And that's going to go right about there. And I'm going to stamp this on here just to make sure I'm getting a good stamp. I notice each time I stamp it, my image gets a little bit crisper. So that's the reason why I'm restamping. Very good. And then we're going to use the happy birthday underneath it. I think I'm going to do like happy birthday, happy birthday. And let's grab another block. Or do I want to just go straight? I think I'm going to go straight, y'all. Let's see how this goes. Love it. So sometimes you just got to go with your gut. And I am going to stamp this little ditty right here. And maybe right here. There. I like to decorate the inside of my card as well. I think it just lends something to your card. So now the question is, do I want to, no, I'm not going to take a chance. I might mess my card up and I don't want to. I'm going to leave it like it is. You know, sometimes you need to know when to stop, and I think this is it. So I'm going to take some liquid glue. And I'm going to set that down. Like that, and then that's ready to go inside, and this is going to make a beautiful birthday card. I do a card ministry at my church, or at least I've been trying to, and one of the ladies is having a birthday tomorrow, and I didn't get my calendar until I went to church yesterday, so I had to come up with a card. And of course, yes, I'm recording this on Monday. This will actually go up tomorrow, which is her birthday. So I kind of had her in mind as I was designing this card. And like I said, I saw my inspiration on Pinterest. And I just kind of took an idea that they showed, and I kind of went with it and made it my own. So I hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that maybe this translucent florals will speak to you. And if you want to pick this up, you can go and grab it on my online store. I will have all the order numbers and everything on the PDF tutorial, so I'll make it really easy for you to grab whatever you need to be able to replicate this card. It is gorgeous. It would be great for any occasion. This would make a great anniversary card, a thinking of you, even a in sympathy, as well as a very happy birthday card. Thank you so much. God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. So until we craft again, stay well, be kind, and know that you're loved. Bye-bye.